Good morning, boys and girls. It is Monday, the 18th of January, and this is a lesson for Mrs. Thomas's maths group. We've got our Roman date at the top, and we're starting a unit today on fractions. What are we going to be able to do by the end of this lesson? Well, we're going to be able to write mixed numbers. Let's just have a recap. We should know that when something is in 4 pieces, we call it quarters, and we write it 1/4 like this. When something is in 3 pieces, we call it thirds, and we write it like this. When something is in 5 pieces, we call it fifths, and we write 1/5 like this. That's work maybe you should have done last year. Let's have a look at our work for today. How many cakes? I've got a whole cake here. It's cut into 4 pieces, so it's in quarters. And I've got an extra piece. So this is the same size as these, so this is also a quarter. So I've got 1 whole and a quarter, and together that makes 1 whole and 1/4, and that's how we would write it, children. Let's have a look at this one. This time my cake or my pizza is cut into 2. When something is cut into 2, we call it halves. Okay, so I've got my 1 whole and I've got another half here. How do I write that? I'm going to write 1 whole and I'm going to add it to that half because I'm going to be greedy and eat 1 whole pizza and a half. So together I've eaten 1.5 pizzas. Let's look at this one. How many pieces is this cut into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sixths there, 1 whole. Then I've got some more sixths here. So again, if this was a pizza, I might eat all of this pizza and be very greedy and eat this bit as well. What have I got here then? I've got 1 whole. How many sixths have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4 sixths. And together I will have 1 whole and 4 sixths. That's a lot of pizza to eat. Okay, now going to a party, there's more pizzas or cakes on the table again. This is cut into 4 pieces, so we call it quarters. 4 quarters in 1 whole, 4 quarters in another whole, and another bit, another quarter. So what have I got? I've got 1 whole, I've got another whole, and I've got a quarter. So we would write it 2 wholes added to 1/4. Altogether that would give me 2 wholes and a quarter. One more. How many have I got this time? Well, my pizza is cut into 3, so we say it's in thirds. I've got 3 thirds there, 1 whole, and I've got 2 thirds here. So 1 whole added to 2 thirds gives me 1 and 2 thirds. Let's move to pictures now. We've had some concrete work. Same idea. This time these could be mini bars of chocolate. So I've got 4 pieces there. So in 4 pieces that would be quarters. 4 quarters, 1 whole. 4 quarters, 1 whole. 4 quarters, 1 whole. 4 quarters, 1 whole. And then I've got this one here, And I've just dotted round to show you that it's part of those 4. Let's have a look then. How many holes have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 whole chocolate bars. Christmas Day again. And then I've got my quarter there. So in total, I've got 4 and a quarter. Boys and girls, when you're writing these today, don't be tempted to write like this. This is wrong because it actually looks like 41 quarters. You need to make sure you write a nice big 4 for your whole numbers and then your fraction next to it, because this is our mixed number. This is what we call a mixed number. And we have some whole numbers and some fractions together. Let's have a look at this next one then, see if we can do this one. I've got 1 whole, 2 wholes, 3 wholes, and then this here shows me I've got a half because each of these are in 2. So 3 wholes and a half. Here's my mixed number coming up. It's 3 and a half, making sure my whole number there is nice and big. Okay, so what would that look like just with numbers, just with digits? Let's have a look. So instead of pictures this time, I've got 1 whole, add 1 whole, add a half. So I've got 2 wholes and a half. What have I got here? 1 whole, add 1 whole, add 1 whole, add 3 quarters. That's going to give me a mixed number of 3 and 3 quarters. Here, 1 whole, add 1 whole, add 2/3. That's going to give me a mixed number of 2 wholes and 2/3. And finally, 1 whole, add 1 whole, add 1 whole, add 4/5. That gives me a mixed number of 3 wholes and 4/5. Remember, this is a mixed number. It's got whole numbers and fractions together. What are you doing today? You're going to be doing this. You're looking at pictures and you're going to write the whole number added to the fraction and give me the mixed number here. Same over here. Those will be on Teams, and there will also be a little challenge on Teams. Well, good luck with that today, children. Remember, this is what we're learning. We're learning to write mixed numbers, a number that has a whole number in it and a fraction. See you soon. Goodbye.